Rick Owens, minimalistic house.
I was working with a dealer.
This guy's a
Hi Vogue, I'm Rick Owens and this is my place in Concordia, Italy. My factory
What
is
the
across the street and this is where I come to do my collections. In this space, I don't like living with a lot of things. I'm not very acquisitive, but the things that I do live with
What
are
the
very
hell?
special to me and I'm gonna show you around.
Yo.
Okay.
What the hell? Homie's got the whole gym. Objects of affection?
I wouldn't call myself a collector, maybe
What'd you
more
find,
of an
Braxton?
eliminator, but
Oh, he's hard for that. He said, I don't find myself much of a collector. I'm more of an eliminator. That's hard, though, chat. That's hard, though. Anyway.
What I have are probably things that I've wanted for a really long time. This is a George Means sculpture. He was a Belgian sculptor associated with the Viennese
The fact he's in Italy with it is
called
crazy.
Kneeling Youth, and it's a study, I believe, for a fountain that's encircled by these youths leaning over it. It's about introversion, introspection, narcissism. Well, this is my interpretation. I just like the mood that it creates. It's kind of severe and a little bit maudlin.
Dude, do you see? Chat, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. I've noticed a difference in myself, too. When I'll read more and I'll focus on my vocabulary more and the words that I'm using, it actually makes the speak, like this, the way that, like, just the way that I speak, like, so much more elegant than anything else could ever do. Like, my tone, it does not matter. Like, but the vocabulary that I use is getting better. I'm not saying it's the best, but like just listening to this guy speak with like just different words about the same thing. He's got multiple different words that can like look at something in a different way. It's crazy.
Over it. It's about introversion, introspection.
Yeah, Braxton, you chilling, bro.
Narcissism. Well, this is my interpretation. I just like the mood that it creates. It's kind of severe and a little bit maudlin, a little bit melancholy, but also vaguely spiritual. When I am in Concordia, I am focused on creating. This is a period of rigor and this is a period of training. And the gym takes up pretty much half the apartment. In any place that I've ever lived in, including Hollywood Boulevard, Los Angeles, I've always insulated and upholstered my spaces with army blankets, vintage army blankets. This is inspired by Joseph Beuys, who was my first art hero when I went to art school. And he used army blankets as a symbol of protection and insulation and isolation. The Army Surplus store was where I would get my original fabrics. I would make clothes out of the duffel bags, out of blankets, out of parachute clothes. Since then, which must be like 30 years ago, every place I cover with army blankets. When I work on interiors or furniture, I'm pretty much a reductivist. I don't think about domestic details that much. They feel a little fussy to me. So the domesticity in this apartment is pretty minimal.
Dude, I fuck with the minimal vibes on this apartment.
That's my closet. I don't have very many clothes. That's a little stack of t-shirts, a little stack of shorts for here, for the factory, for every day, and that's pretty much it. I always kind of
he must never be living here.
Decisions. So when I pick an outfit, I'll pretty much stick to it for a couple of years. My clothing choices have evolved from Hollywood Boulevard. It's always been some kind of shorts, and it just gradually changes.
This motherfucker looks crazy, dude. Chat, he don't look right. You know what I'm saying? He don't look right, dude. He looks crazy. I fuck with this guy, but he don't look right.
Collection, I just have 20 more shorts made, and I just have little stacks of them everywhere.
He just said, yeah.
When I put this place together 7 years ago, I wanted Italian rationalism. I wanted something kind of
rationalism? Bro, I'm about to write this shit down. What the fuck does that mean?
Something kind of severe. I like the classical tone of travertine interior sets. I like putting myself into that zone.
Dude, these words that he's saying are travertine? What?
I wanted someplace that would be a blank space for me so I could get into a zone of putting a collection together. I might have overdone it. I put travertine everywhere I could. I put it on the walls, on the floor. I wanted a travertine box.
It's got to be that pattern right there,
like
in type of
like
material.
A cave, a travertine cave, something stone. I know that I wanted to live in stone. I've always been impressed by the skulls in Italian churches. This skull I got from a medical school auction years ago, and I use it as a memento mori, as a reminder that all is vanity, that one day my skull is going to be on somebody else's desk. So seize the day, seize the moment. The pistols are from my father's collection. He was a very conservative, kind of stridently moralist who I had a difficult relationship with. We used to be horrified, Mom.
I can't even chat. Does that not even, do you guys not notice this stuff? Like, the way that he's talking right now is crazy. Like, what did he just say right there? More, like,
kind of stridently moralist.
Stridently moralist? What? Dude, I don't know if I'm stupid or what the hell, dude. Stridently moralist?
Difficult relationship with. We used to be horrified, Mom and me, about having guns around the house, but now they are an affectionate reminder of him. And I like the association with the kneeling youth, with the gym in between. The vulnerability of youth, the vitality of the gym, and the resolution of the skull and the pistols. The terrace overlooks the factory right over there. I asked the gardener,
that's the hardest shit,
the landscape artist, to never touch this garden. I wanted it as shaggy, as chaotic, as wild as possible. Oh, look at those. Beautiful.
The fact he just wakes up, goes out to his backyard, and he can just see his factory overlook it is the craziest thing ever.
Shaggy.
That's so fire.
These chairs are by the Italian futurist artist Giacomo Balla. They're very severe and yet kind of fantastic at the same time. Giacomo Balla is usually a lot more colorful than this, so I was really lucky to find something so subdued. They are so uncomfortable. They're hard. The angle of the back, you have to sit so upright. So it feels like a church pew, a little bit punishing. I rarely sit in them, but I love them so much. And I've probably kind of knocked them off with my furniture collection to a certain extent. One of my favorite things that I do like to wear, even though I don't wear very many things, is this robe. I've indulged myself with this from my Spring/Summer 17 collection. It is silk taffeta lined with a cotton pelle ovo fabric. It is regal.
No way homie goes to the grocery store in a robe. Like, I believe it. I believe it. If there's anybody that would do it, it's definitely this guy. I don't know if you guys have seen like just Rick Owens clothes in general, but there is some outlandish crazy shit, and this guy is the heart and soul of it all. So it makes sense. I'm not saying nothing about this guy. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. He's the main character for sure.
Winter morning when
he's definitely the top G.
Around having coffee on the terrace. But my favorite object is this one. I was working with a dealer in New York who would send me images of sarcophaguses that were up for auction. And they were always a little bit too colorful, and they always kind of looked a little fake to me. But anyway, finally this one came, and so it was so worth the wait. We call her Liza, after Liza Minnelli. Space in this building became available a few years ago, and we entered into an agreement to collaborate with the family that was running it and to turn it into an Owens Court bar. It is part canteen, for our crew, our team that is in the factory right across the street, but it's also for the community. I mean, it's open to everybody. We've included furniture pieces from the Rick Owens furniture collection. We have bronze pieces from our accessories
So fire, actually.
objects collection. And the pièce de résistance of this space is this mural by my daughter, Scarlet Rouge. This mural was inspired by the Larry Legaspi show that I had just done. I'd also put out a book on Larry Legaspi, and in the book he talks about his fascination with the movie Things to Come by H.G. Wells from the 1930s. This was a movie that independently, before I ever heard of Larry Legaspi, I had known about this movie and it inspired me too. And I asked Scarlett, my daughter, to reference it in these murals that she did for the showroom for that collection. I love the pop impact of it. They are gestural, quick, drippy, almost violent, reckless lines that give a certain energy to this space. I don't like a lot of decoration, but if you're gonna do a decoration, I want it to be as extravagant and as dramatic and as extreme as possible. And I think that's what this is.
How much do you think he weighs? Probably like 160. But he hits the gym, so like he's probably like low-key lean as fuck. He's dense for sure. You see his calves, dude? He looks shredded. The Owens Corp is so fire.
I've been working in this office for 20 years.
The fact that he lives next to where he works is so gas.
I like the patina of all of the tape marks and all of the pencil marks of all of the collections that we've gone through. I like having that sense of memory. These pieces have been with me for a while. These are objects from our, I guess, homeware collection. We have a bronze gourd vase and rock crystal goblets. I think of these as relics of the pieces that we do for the interiors. These could be futuristic.
Did he say that was
or
an
they could
Owens
be
Corp
ancient.
coffee
I like
shop
that
before?
We're using the classical
If it was, that's so
materials
crazy.
like bronze and rock crystal. Everything that I do is kind of a blend of the past and the futuristic, so that they kind of create a retro-futuristic aesthetic that I've been developing over the years.
Chat, the only way...
For several years, I have been collecting these Onagadori rooster feathers. They were bred originally
This guy's
in
so...
the 17th century.
This guy is got to be the, like, the definition of, like, exquisite. You know what I'm saying? Like, the definition. He's saying words that I don't even know what the fuck... Onagatari rooster feathers? What? Where? From where?
Japan. My father had a library in the basement full of Japanese art books, and I remember seeing watercolors, old watercolors of Onagadori roosters in those books. What's great about them is that the roosters themselves live on tall perches, which allows the feathers to be undisturbed and pristine. And over the years, I've been in contact with a farm in Japan that will send me the feathers that fall off. And so I've collected a few, and I'm hell-bent on collecting as many as I can. And I like to have them around to remind myself of unlimited possibilities. I like to start from a clean slate every collection, but these have stayed here. These have been here for close to 20 years. I had a fantasy of actually breeding them myself, but that's not very practical. But, you know, one day, maybe.
Exquisite vibes right there, chat. Remarkable.
Thank you, Vogue, for allowing me to share my world. Every day, I'm very grateful that I ended up here. Arrivederci.
Yo, he's funny as fuck. What the hell? All right. Anyway, chat, that was crazy, no? Like, that was actually pretty crazy. That's exactly what I was talking about right there. The level of creativity that guy has. Do you think he sits around and, like, watches, like, other people. Like, there's no way. Like, the only way that I feel like you get to that level of like creativity and like shit like that is like you kind of just have to just be yourself. Like, think about it. He's reminiscing on like back when his dad had Japanese art books in the attic when he was 7 years old. Like, he just referenced that like that. Like, he's so tapped in with who he is that like his inspiration comes from within. And like maybe like obviously everybody's gonna consume something. It's not like he's gonna be just sitting there and shit like that. But that's gotta be what it is, chat. Like, I feel like people like this, like I've been trying to crack this code for a minute, but like it's gotta be, I feel like this guy and Rick Owens and like a lot of these like top 1% people, like they're just so like focused on just like being them and like just doing what they gotta do that they don't even give a fuck about anything else that goes down. Like I think that's where they're at, if I'm being honest. But I don't know. I honestly have no idea, but that's got to be what it is.